Hi, this is Zach May with US Chartbreakers here at Zach's Traders Cafe for Thursday, the 30th of November. Starting off with the S&P, which is still managing to stay in this recent consolidation, caught at 45.30 to 45.80, looking for a hit of that resistance line there from August last year, around 46.05. Above that, best case scenario would be up to 4,800 by the end of next month. On the downside, there is support in the 45 to 45.20 area, and then at the top of that gap, 44.60. But hopefully it won't come down to having to test too low towards 4,500. Moving along to the stocks, and quite a few flyers. One of them is Biomea Fusion, and here we've got a rising trend channel base, or at least we think we have, and looking at a move through the 50-day moving average, a gap through that, which is normally a decent sign. We already gapped or fell down quite sharply, so it's a nice sort of bear trap reversal above the resistance on the way down around $11.80, looking for up to $25 by the end of January. But the key here is holding that 50-day line around the $11 area. Onto a stock which I've looked at quite a lot in the last few days, Conduit, and here nice U-shaped turnaround here, breaking the 50-day line around $3.40. Above that, we've been looking for $10 as soon as the end of next month. That would also fill the gap down from back in September. So a nice situation there. Another stock which is turning around, an almost identical chart actually, is Envoy Medical. Another U-shaped turnaround. We've broken neckline resistance on the way down, $2.20. Want to see a clearance of the 50-day line at $3.10, but the big prize here, maybe by the end of January, would be we'd see the shares back at $6 plus at the top of that broadening triangle from back in October. But the key here, as I said, is holding the old neckline resistance around $2.20. Interesting setup in the next stock, Corbus Pharmaceuticals. Here we had the gap down, and we want to see an end of the day close back above that gap around $5.10. If we can do that, then it should be up to $6 over the next couple of weeks, and finally ending that long-winded decline that we've had since the early part of the summer. The key here is that we're on the right side of the $4 area on any build for the shares. Foot Locker is next, and here you can see that we've had gaps down and then gaps up. It's a bear trap island reversal above the resistance on the way down from August, September, well, definitely from August there, around $25.50. We're looking for $32.50, which is the top of that rising trend channel base in place on the daily chart since May. We've had the 50-day line rising since basically the beginning of the month, so that has been a decent momentum indicator for that situation. Moving along to another hopeful for the future, Fitel Corporation. Here we've closed on the right side of the 50-day line around $1.80. Above that, looking for as high as $3.50, the top of the broadening triangle there from back in August. But the key here is to stay on the right side of $1.50, ahead of potentially $3.30 or $3.40. Back with a famous meme stock, Gamestop, and here we've gapped through the 50-day moving average. That's around $14.20. Above that, we're looking for $22 as soon as the end of next month, which is the top of a broadening triangle from back in August. And it's good to see the shares also back above the old March support there, around $15.50. So key here above $14, looking for $22 on GameStop. Another stock which is on the front foot is Jeff's Brands, and here broadening triangle base, not much of a range at the moment, but hoping for the shares to head up to the top of that triangle there around $4.15, and the more time we spend above the 50-day line at $2.80, the greater the chance of $4.15 by the end of next month. Stock which doesn't get much airtime is Motus, but here we may have a rising trend channel base, in this case in place since August. Top of that channel implies a target at around $11, and probably while we're above the neckline resistance that we've had recently around $4.90, looking for that $11 area by the end of next month. If you're cautious, maybe you want to see the shares above the 50-day line at $6, but that is the initial target anyway for the shares. On to a stock which has moved rather well over recent days, Top Ships. Here we've already hit our ambitious sounding target around $13, above 13. We're looking for a fresh leg to the upside, and the top of that triangle from back in March. That is also the top of it's actually resistance on the way down back at the beginning of the year around $17. And that would also fill that gap from back in February. So the target now up towards $17 while we're above 13 on top ships. Moving on to a stock which is called Ucommune, and here you can see that we're breaking the 200-day moving average, the 50-day moving average after an extended base since August. Neckline resistance around $4.90. Above that, we're looking for the next level up to be basically the old support on the way down around $7.50 by the end of next month or even sooner. Ideally, we stay on the right side of $4 and above the 50-day moving average in the meantime. On to the last two. The first one is a bit of a lap of honour given the way the shares have moved. Vivos, here we had our target around the $10 area, which obviously looks rather limp at the moment and lame. But they obviously overshot that and headed back to retest the best levels of the beginning of the year near to the $40 to $50 area. In fact, we're still looking for $50 plus as long as we remain above the resistance on the way down around 35, which was back in February time. So above 35, looking for 50 plus on Vivos. Finishing off with the stock I covered yesterday, and here we have Yoshiharu, and hopefully this will continue to make progress. We hit our initial target there already, around $6.70. Above that, there is the prospect of a retest of yesterday's spike high towards $13.70 as soon as the end of next month or even sooner. That's it from me today. More updates tomorrow.